Hey, what's going on, people? It's Pushcat, SIegmier, Nick, whatever you want to call me. I'm back again. This is part 2. I believe in this episode we go through, defeat the gargoyles, and move on from there. I'm really excited about this playthrough. I think it's going to be fun to finish it up. I haven't beat the final boss yet. I'm not sure how far I've gotten. As I said, I've got like 10 episodes recorded. And, yeah, I've gotten pretty far in the game. Gotten past Ornstein and Smog, however you want to pronounce it. Smo. Biggie and Smalls. What is it? It's Pikachu and... Sorry, I can't remember what the other name for him is. But I'm recording this just after the second one, or the first one. First one's actually 95% of the way done processing. Then it'll be uploaded. I'm looking at the title for this while I'm recording, and I've noticed it's either, right after the S, I've either put a capital I or an L. It's like SIegmier. It's rather good. But yeah, this episode, I believe this first part I'm doing a bit of farming, trying to get some Titanite shards, upgrade my weapon. I want to kill the boar. I want to try and, I don't think that I go after the Taurus demon in this episode. He's kind of like a mini boss. He's not really of any real challenge. Although I know new players would definitely beg to differ. Of course, even the gargoyles can be rather easy. I'm trying to remember. See, sometimes with gargoyles, I have an enormous amount of trouble that I really should not have. But sometimes I just get rid of them like that, It's just, I have no real issue. But, sometimes it takes me like 10 to 20 tries. I did not actually listen to my narration. See, with the last episode, I recorded roughly half of the narration. Then I stopped recording and just listened to it and got a drink and, had like a mini break. And then I recorded the second part, talked about that a little, talked about some issues I was having. And then I was going to listen to the second part, then render it and upload it and, finish all that stuff. But unfortunately, I was... kind of busy, so I just instantly started rendering it and then upload it, and now I'm sitting here, I'm like, crap, I have no idea how moving my microphone up a little bit changed how it sounds. Oops, sorry, I bumped my mic there. But I've still got my microphone moved up. I'm not sure how it's going to affect the audio. Hopefully you can still hear me fine, and hopefully you don't have as much of a like the pop, which I'm sure you would have heard quite a bit there. So in this episode, because I don't really have much else to talk about other than stab the boar in the back, it makes it easier. Shove your sword up its butt, or in this case just slash it. Like that. But because I don't really have much to talk about in ways of that, I thought I'd talk about some of the computer hardware I have and that I have had, and stuff like that. I'm currently using a Lenovo Y500 laptop to game, to just do stuff like that. It's got a GTX 750M, M meaning that it's a laptop graphics card. It's smaller, more compact. But which sacrifices in the form of power, like the strength of the graphics card and its cooling abilities, I've also noticed are a little off. But it's still better. It's the best computer. I really hope you couldn't hear that. It's the best computer I've had so far, and I really enjoy it. Then my mouse, I've got a Razer Death Adder 2013. I actually got this to replace my Lenovo G500, I believe it was. It was one of their gaming mice, which I really liked, but unfortunately the cord started to break, so occasionally it wouldn't register when I was moving my mouse, which, if you're a gamer, you know, that's just not acceptable. Here, do I die? No, I don't. I'm sitting here watching this and I'm like, am I gonna die from rat poison? Which does happen way too often. But yeah, I got the Death Adder to replace my G500. I'd read reviews on the Death Adder, and I am really sorry if you can hear that motorcycle. I really hope you can't, but you know, microphones will pick up anything. I read reviews and people were saying stuff like, oh, the Death Adders, like, I read some reviews that were comparing them, which was great, because that's exactly what I wanted. And I'd always heard the Death Adder was a good one, but it initially had some issues where sometimes they arrived and it just didn't work. And sometimes when you update it, it wouldn't work, and, you know, just stuff like that. So, but there were people who were saying, like, it fits my large hand, it's perfect, it's bigger than or just as big as my G500. It's not. It's smaller than the G500. And this is coming from someone who's got a really large hand with long, thin fingers. And I like to palm my mouse, and like the top half, like half of my fingers, like the upper half of my fingers hang over the edge if I hold it like how I want to hold it, which for me it's a bummer. So now I've had to start holding it where, as opposed to palming it, I'm kind of palming it, but I'm not. You know, it's much more of a claw grip, except I'm trying to palm it at the same time. It's an awkward setup, and I'm rather disappointed in the way they portrayed it to me. But yeah, Razer Death Adder 2013. It's a good mouse. So far, I've really enjoyed it. I like the ability that, like, you can use it on glass. G500, you couldn't. I know it was a laser mouse and whatever, but you couldn't. I tried. And back at my parents' house, I have a glass table, so I always had to use a mouse pad, which I hate using, because I'd much rather, like, up here I've got a wood desk, so I can just, when I don't have to use anything, I can just put it straight on the desk. I've got plenty of room to move my mouse, you know, I really like it. Now, for my headphones, I've got Gamecom headset. I believe it's like it's a strange number. It's not like the 380. It's, hang on a second. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? No, it doesn't even say it on them. It just says Gamescom Panatronics or Panatronics. I don't know. It's got Dolby Digital. I believe it's 7.1 surround sound. I could be wrong on that. It might just be 5.1. They're my first pair of real surround sound headphones. They cost around $60. It's what I'm using to record my audio now. It's a USB headset. However, the USB part is a option, which I know it's kind of weird. You can also just plug it directly into the jacks of your computer, but then you're going to get stereo and you can't use the surround sound-esque feature. I've also used in the past, I believe they're called monopiece. Yeah, I have them here. Monopiece headphones. They're supposedly surround sound, but just comparing the two of them, back when they did work, they broke not recently, but like half a year ago, which is why I got these. Oh yeah, and just real quick on the video, sorry Sun Bros, but I can't let him live. I can't allow myself to be tempted to use him on a boss. Like, that's just not right. You know, I mean, use fucking Solaire to beat Ornstein and Smo? Yeah, right. Kidding me? Gotta solo it, man. Shouldn't summon anyone. And interesting thing to note, I am playing Dark Souls Online, and I don't think I've been invaded. Well, I've been invaded in the past, but it's so rare. And it's usually like someone who's got like, you know, it's usually early game, and it's usually someone who just is like trolling, farming, is, you know, shows up early game with like max gear, and, you know, it's just not, it's never a PvP experience that you want. You know. But back to headphones, I really like these Gamescom. I'd recommend them to anyone. They're by Plantronics. I'll probably include a link in the description to all of this. Keyboard is just the standard keyboard that comes on the Lenovo Y500. And I've also got a pair of headphones I use for listening to music and listening to things where I don't want the surround sound. You know, like music with surround sound, it's just weird. It doesn't work. So, for my music headphones, I have a pair of JBL Synchronous. They're S500s. You can tell I like the 500 series of stuff. They're about $300 headphones. They have this built-in, like, concert type, I don't know, something weird that I never use because you can't really tell the difference with using it on an iPod or something like that. But most expensive pair of headphones I've ever owned. Oh, except I ended up giving these to my mom, but I had a pair of wireless headphones that had 5.1 surround sound, and I'm not really mad at myself for giving them to my mom, because, like, initially I'm like, oh man, this is cool and stuff, but, like, if you get into a game, or if you, like, I tried playing them in Battlefield 4, for example, and one thing these headphones blatantly broadcasted was, hey, they're just no delay, no nothing. But you go online, and there's a delay. Now, it's not a large delay. It's not like I don't think most people would notice it, but with me, I am so finicky about that thing. Like, for a while, my mouse, I ended up having to change some settings in Windows, but it had a slight delay on it. My mouse did. And I was so, like, eeked about it. Because I don't want to move my mouse and then have it be, like, 10 seconds. Or I'm obviously exaggerating. It's not 10 seconds. But like 1/100th of a second before it starts to move. like, that small fraction just throws me off. If you get into, like, competitive gaming, which I've not done for years, just throwing that out there. I'm a full-time student. I'm not a competitive gamer, so on and so forth. And it's just, it bothers me. I pick up on it, and it bothers me. And it just won't go away. It's just that nagging feeling. I hate it. I really do. So, I ended up giving those to my mom. She uses them while she's cooking. She just plugs her iPad into it, or her, what's it called? She listens to books on CD, and half the house hates it. Half the house, meaning half my family that still live at home. Actually, the vast majority of my family still lives at home, so can't even say that. So, using those headphones, she doesn't bother anyone anymore. So, let's see, what else can I talk about? I mean, obviously, this is a gaming channel. To play Dark Souls, I just use a Microsoft gamepad, Xbox 360 controller that's wired. It's a black one, just standard. I think it's like $30 to $40 online. I'm rummaging through my side bin here where I keep random stuff. But so far, headphones are doing quite well. Mouse is doing well. I haven't had any issues with it in terms of its reliability, but obviously there's the fact that my hand doesn't fit it quite, which, it's something I should have been like, I should have taken their reviews with a grain of salt. I should have realized that it wasn't gonna have as much of an arch, it wasn't gonna be large enough for me. I mean, even the G500 was a bit small on me, but I guess I just expected the Razer Death Adder, this mouse I've been hearing about for years, would, live up to my expectations. Actually, speaking of living up to my expectations, I've got an iPod Touch, 4th generation. I use that to listen to music, watch videos, just surf the web. I use it for what I should use my computer for most of the time. Like, I'll even be sitting at my computer and doing something on my iPod like that I can just very quickly Google or watch on my laptop at higher resolution on a larger screen. Apparently one of my friends is now online. I hope that didn't record that sound. But
don't get yourself killed.
I've always had an OtterBox case for it. And my old case, let me see if I still have it here. Yeah. It is a black one. And that's very important. It was black. I'm not racist. It was black. Oh boy. I better shut up before I get in trouble. And it was one of the ones where the plastic, or not the plastic, the the silicone came up and over the camera on the front, and I had it for like a year or two. Oh, I'm trying to think how old that was. But I've had it for a while, right? And it started to tear and stuff, so I finally was like, okay, I'll give in, I'll get a new OtterBox case, because I like OtterBox cases, might as well upgrade since they don't make this type anymore. Bad move, guys. Bad move. The new case lasted half a month before the, or no, it lasted like a week before the jack cover for like where you'd plug your headphones into the iPod, before that tore off. And then it started to tear in the top right corner. And that tear has just been growing and growing. It's now gone about halfway down the case. And it's just bad. And plus I've got another tear on the top left. And my old case, I'd take it, I'd open it and close it and, you know, just do all that stuff and never had to worry. With this one, I do that, and it just tears a bit more, and a bit more. I'm doing the exact same stuff. I'm not being rough with it. I'm not tearing it on purpose. It's just... They severely downgraded in the silicone used. And this silicone, it's harder. It's not as soft or as malleable. It doesn't stick to surfaces, which you might think, oh, that's great, it doesn't turn your pockets inside out. Well, yeah, it also doesn't stay on a frickin' table. If you bump it a little, it's going to go flying off as though it had no case on it at all. Whereas with the old one, you bump it a little, your hand's going to move out of the way. It's not going to be the case, you know. That case is rigid, it'd stay there, it'd stick. So I'm severely disappointed in this new OtterBox case. I contacted OtterBox and I was like, hey, here's my case, here's the issues I've been having with it. And they instantly were like, okay, we'll send you a brand new one. I'm like, what? Okay, I just wanted a replacement for the silicone, but great. And then they said, unfortunately we don't have your case. I had it's like this lime green and black. I was never really happy with that coloring, but I don't know, I didn't really care too much. My first OtterBox case was black and black. This one was green and black. And then the one they sent me, the hard case is white, but then the outer shell is like a gray. And of course, first thing I tried to do was mix the green and the gray. I was like, how's that look? Nope. It looks bad.
Oh, forgive me.
So,
I was absorbed in
I figure the case will hold up better if I actually use a iPod connector cord,
up against a wall.
as opposed to docking my iPod where I take it in and out of the case constantly. By the way, here's SIegmier of Katarina. Best in PC in the game. Like, you cannot get better than him. Really. He is boss. I really like him. Obviously. If you've seen any of my Battlefield videos, you would know that. But, you know, I've been disappointed in the newest OtterBox quality. And actually, well, I'm waiting for... I had to order a cord. My old one broke, which is why I'd been docking it. So, in the meantime, I have stapled my old black case. Just to get it to stick together. I'm just going to use that until the cords arrive. Well, they actually arrived, but they arrived at my parents' house as opposed to mine. Whoops. So, my parents are going to send them up here. I'm up in... Well, you don't need to know that. I'm living away at college, so my parents need to send them from their house to here. So, should hopefully get them soon. Then I can start using the new case without fear of ruining it. But, yeah. I'm out of things to talk about. Sadly. Let's see. For anyone wondering, I've got an iHome in terms of the dock I use. I don't know if there's any special brand, like special serial number on this. It just says iHome. It's a black carry case. Doubles as an alarm clock. It's a speaker system. You know, just I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. So yeah, I have that. Actually, while I'm talking to you, I'm going to see if I can. I've got my old black case here, like the black on black. And by the way, in the background, or in the video, you can see I am dying quite a bit to the frickin' pink people. I don't know, what are they called? They're not hollow soldiers. I guess they're hollow warriors? Or no, because these guys here, I guess they're hollow soldiers. I don't know. Yeah. You know who I'm talking about. And there goes a car alarm. My apologies. I can't control when people try to rob other people of their cars. Or try to rob themselves of their car, I guess. As it happens most often. But, yeah. Maybe I should talk about more personal stuff. I am currently a student studying to become a electrical engineer. I will not tell you where I'm going to school because that is creepy. Maybe in the future if people actually want to know. But for now, I think that's just something I'm going to keep to myself and my friends and people who recognize me in real life, which will be no one, because, yeah. But staying becoming an electrical engineer, not much else I can say about that. It's my first year in college. I'm 19 at the moment. I play video games a lot. Favorite game of all time, Dark Souls. Favorite game that I'm currently playing, like if you exclude Dark Souls, would have to be Battlefield, as anyone who checks out my channel could clearly tell. And by the way, I've had to stop recording Battlefield games because unfortunately it's just I get these weird stutters, or I get it where the recording software is taking up so much of my hard drive that it makes it so that any key I press doesn't register. And while that's not that's a huge deal. Because, like, it means that I'll be walking and then I just can't stop walking. And it gets me killed, and it basically means that I can't continue to record Battlefield. I just can't. As much as I would love to, and you know, I've had some epic moments recently, and I've just been like, oh, why wasn't I recording? And I'm like, well, I probably wouldn't have had that moment if I was recording. Like this one time I was on Flood Zone, right? And that's the map where it floods partway through if you break the dam. And I was coming up a set of stairs, and I went outside, and there was just a whole group of enemies, and they were all just sitting there sniping across to the other side of the map. So I knife one, turn. Someone else realizes, oh, my friend just died, turns around, I knife him, knife the guy next to him, knife the guy next to that guy. Like, I just got like 5 or 6 knife kills. It was so awesome. Yeah, I was just dying laughing while it was happening. My roommate and my roommate's friend were both there, and they were laughing. And, I just wish it was recorded. You know, I wish I could watch that again and be like, these noobs. Like, it was on a 64-man domination server. Like, it was... They should have known I was there, and they should have killed me. You know, there was no way that I should have been able to get away with that. But I did. You know, I did. I can't say much else about that. They failed in realizing because they were trying to snipe people. And well, one thing that I want to make abundantly clear is, yeah, I went on this knife streak, but I mostly went on it because I was joking around with my friends, and it's domination. I don't care about domination. I don't care about team deathmatch. But in Conquest or in Rush, or if you care about your kill to death ratio, if you care about how you do, you should never knife. Like, unless you are completely out of ammo in your primary, in your secondary, in your tertiary, if you've got like like the Mass 12G, I think, or the Dart, or, you know, okay, then knife, you know, or like if you panic and hit the button. Like I used to, in some games that I play, like PlanetSide, I've got, I use that in, if I panic, I just press the button, you know. But with, sorry, I'm messing with my case while I'm talking, because I just put on the old black one. I stapled it just now. Yes, I know, stapled. Great idea. Just because the newest one they sent me is just bad. But, I've had so many times where I've been shooting someone and I kill the person, and just as I kill them, I get that, like, you're being turned around and knifed animation. And I think, well, if you just shot me, if you just popped me once or twice, then I wouldn't have gotten that kill. I wouldn't have hurt your team. And I've had so many times where I see someone getting knifed and I kill the person knifing them before they finish the animation and actually get the kill. So if they just shot the person, just shot the person, then they would have survived longer. They would have gotten the kill. They wouldn't have allowed that person to continue on with what they are doing, which in most cases is killing your teammates. So every time you knife someone, or most of the time when you knife someone, you're hurting your own team. And it's just... But that has nothing to do with Dark Souls. My apologies, I should get back on topic. As you can see, I have killed the gargoyles, the guardians of the Burst Bell of Awakening. And I'm only about halfway through the first video, or through this video. I'm gonna make my way on to Capra Demon. Not sure if I kill the Capra Demon in this video. At this point, my roommate was behind me going, kill him, kill him, kill him. I'm like, okay. With the good pardoner of sins here. He's another one. I don't know his name. Is it Oswald? Might be Oswald. I don't know. He's like a minor character to me. I don't care. And for anyone wondering why I'm actually recording like the narration to these, or the commentary to these, like months after I made them. It's because my roommate's away on vacation at the moment. So I have the room to myself and I can actually sit down and do this, which is great. Can't wait to upload some of my old Battlefield videos before I have to say goodbye to them forever. It might not be forever. It might just be till I get a better PC. Well, by that point it would be in forever. Or until they start fixing bugs with shadow play. And for anyone wondering about, like, the shadow play issue, what happens is, like, my mouse works fine. My keyboard will lock up. Oops, I hope that didn't. No, it's still going. My keyboard will lock up. So I'll just be... I'll be sitting there, and it's just... I can't do anything. And I've narrowed it down to my disk being 100% in use. However, I've also noticed that anytime I'm recording anything, no matter how much, like, no matter what the resolution is, no matter what my game's set, no matter what I do, I can't make it not use 100%. Like, just idling right now, it says it's using 100%. It says system's using 100% of it. And I've tried all these different internet fixes. You know, I've watched the YouTube videos on how to devote all your RAM to your disk drive, and I think I might just have to get an external hard drive, or, you know, if it is the hard drive, which it is, like, I've seen no other result other than when the hard drive is 100% in use for an extended period of time, it starts locking up my keyboard. And I've not seen anything else to prove it to the contrary. Yeah, I have no idea what is going on right now. I'm just kind of standing there, staring, waiting. I'm gonna capture your soul. And let me pause real quick. Okay, so it turns out it did not pause. It was just my, see, I've got a little video here that's going along as I'm commentating, or as it says, narrating. And it just, I guess it froze up. I could still hear sounds, and I was hearing, you know, the blacksmith pumping away, and I guess I should have realized, hey, he's not moving his hammer at all. But basically, the little video had frozen. So it looked like I'd just been standing there doing absolutely nothing for an extended period of time. And obviously that's not true. I also watched my video back, or I watched some of the commentary back, and I did notice that the bumping noise is still there. I don't know what's causing that. I'm not touching my microphone. As I said, it's on my headset. It's sitting there away from my face. It's a good ways from my face too. I don't know what's causing it. I'm not bumping it. I'm not flailing it around. There's no wind. I don't know. And here I believe I'm just trying to get a couple more Titanite shards to sink into my claymore or something. Not really certain. It's, as I said, I recorded these ages ago. Like, it's been so frickin' long. And when I initially recorded them, I thought, oh, I'll just upload them without commentary. Then I thought, well, I should probably just at least put an intro on. And so I put an intro on the first one. And I'm like, well, that doesn't seem right. Maybe I should... I'll redo the intro and explain a bit more. And in the process of explaining a bit more, I ended up taking the entire video and going off on a rant about something or other. Which is sort of what I'm doing here, except I've decided, well, might as well just rant. You know, it's not going to hurt someone. If you don't want to listen to me, I'm sorry. tell me, and I will not include this commentary on the Dark Souls 2 videos when that comes out. Once more, it's the 18th at the moment, and I have to wait till the 25th. So that'll be a little while. Yeah, it's a disappointment. I was really looking forward to playing it. As I say, I'm currently away at college, so I do not have access to my Xbox or my brother's or my family's Xbox, I should say. It was actually given to me and my brother, but you know, I don't have a TV up here anyway, so can't really do anything with it anyways. So yeah, I've got Dark Souls 2 pre-ordered on Steam. I'm waiting. I'm excited. I'll probably play with PvP off, although I kind of want to see how the new PvP system works. So I'll probably leave that on, actually. Plus, that way I don't have to turn my internet on and off, and, you know, stuff like that. And then I can leave messages and read messages. Ooh, that'll be exciting. So here I'm making my run down to the Capra Demon. Using Claymore. As I said, this is the part where, for whatever reason, I thought, oh yeah, SIegmier uses the Claymore. He doesn't. He uses the Zweihander. And then, of course, his piercing shield. The one that has a spike on it. Not the spike shield that Kirk? Yeah, Kirk has. I want to say Kurt, but that's not right. That just reminds me of Kurt J. Mack. Farlands or bust. God. If you've never seen Kurt J. Mack, he's a mindcracker, makes YouTube videos where he just walks and talks, in Minecraft. Not in real life. That'd be a little weird. But sorry, I'm just using this this old case of mine, and it's quite interesting. But I digress. Actually, while I'm on the topic of Kurt and them, might as well talk about my favorite YouTuber. All-time favorite. I can't think of anyone better than him, in my opinion. Keep in mind, this is my favorite. It's not the best YouTuber ever. Or anything like that. Is Zisteau. Spelled Zisteau. And I love the guy. I can't get enough of his videos. I get mad every time I check my YouTube subscriptions and he has not uploaded something. And which is bad on my part, considering I check my YouTube subscriptions like once every 10 minutes. I'm actually checking them at the moment and seeing that I've got a lot of videos I need to catch up on, which is good and bad. Good because it means I'm going to be busy. Bad because it means I'm going to be busy. Also in the future, if I start referencing Mindcrackers or something like that, just know that they're a YouTube group that makes videos. They've got a Minecraft server that the majority of them play on. It's private, whitelisted, can't get in. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. It's invite only, so like, say Captain Sparkles wanted to get in, and he asked to get in. They'd say, no, we didn't invite you. You know, or who's another big YouTuber? CNanners or PewDiePie. Ugh, PewDiePie. By the way, I watched PewDiePie's Dark Souls videos, and I enjoyed them, but when he made those stupid faces to the camera, I got mad. I was like, what are you doing? This isn't right. You shouldn't be doing that. What's wrong with you? But I guess that's part of his personality or his character. Like, you look at Zisto and he's this big angry zombie pigman. That's his character. And I guess PewDiePie's this stupid, like, I'm probably getting a bunch of haters now because I'm calling PewDiePie stupid, but it's just not my ordeal. By the way, I bumped my microphone there, so I'm sorry if that registered. Yeah, I don't like PewDiePie, but I thought his Dark Souls videos were decent. I thought they could have been better in terms of, I didn't like so much that he made it a montage. I also don't really like when on your first playthrough of a game you take the community's advice. I'd much rather be in the dark and not know than to have people just outright on your first time playthrough say, oh, to get to this secret area you need to do this and this and this, and oh, this is over here and this is here, and you know, it's much more fun if you discover it yourself and you search for it. And it just felt like he was getting gypped, and I was mad that he was getting gypped of the experience. Like, on my first playthrough of Dark Souls, unfortunately, I was completely spoiled on the entire game. I'd watched an entire playthrough. I'd watched several entire playthroughs before I finally bought the game. Because I was like, well, this is supposed to be hard. Do I really want this? Do I really want this? And finally I was like, yes, I want this. I've purchased the game 3 times. First time because I was like, yeah, I want this. Second time because the frickin' Xbox disc broke. Third time because I was like, well, I have a computer and I want to play it, and I'm away at college, so I can't. So why the F not? Also, I need it for a, what was it called? It was the history of digital literature. That was the class, and they had an entire segment on games because it's literature and it's on a computer. It's digital. It's a form of storytelling. And we looked at like Portal, Dark Souls, Skyrim. I wrote my paper. We had to write. It was a English class, even though it says history of. It was a English class, and I wrote my paper on the Stanley Parable. And, excuse me. And it was. I really enjoyed the class, which, let me tell you, I hate English. I'm an electrical engineer, or I'm going into electrical engineering. I've always liked the math classes, and actually here at my school, it's a tech school, I'll give you that much, I have been severely disappointed in the school. I do not like my my math classes. Like, I'm in multivariable calc at the moment. I seriously hate my teacher. She's foreign, which I don't care if you're foreign, but if you have been teaching for 20 years, you should at least be able to articulate and to communicate properly the ideas that you want. And she... I'm trying to express my emotions without sounding like a racist, because she's a Asian lady that sounds like she's German, that... Alright, let me try again. I feel that in order for you to trust a teacher, They need to establish a sense of authority, a sense of knowing what they are doing on this subject. And they need to maintain that authority. See, so like, if I want to talk about why Pepsi's better than Coke, I would need to establish that I have tried both brands. I need to establish that I have looked into the ingredients of both. I need to make it clear that I know what I am talking about. And this applies to teaching, right? So in a math professor, you expect them to be right the vast majority of the time. You expect them to be very quick on basic arithmetic. You expect them to know this stuff and have it down. But she'll be writing a problem on the board, and she'll stop because we're like, hey, you did that wrong. You need to do this rather than this. And she goes, wait, hang on a moment. Please, what I do? Hang on, wait, and she just goes on like that, and we're like, look, you just add rather than subtracting here. Just change it. And she's like, hang on, what I do? And it makes me angry. It breaks any form of authority I feel she has. And I feel like I can't trust her to tell me what's true. Then, for exams, this frickin' teacher gives us all the equations. The only time I've ever had a teacher give you equations on an exam is in physics. And even then, I always felt like that was cheating. And our frickin' calc professor gives us the equations on exams. And I'm like, what are you doing? How can you say, oh yeah, we've learned this, if you're giving us the frickin' equation? Like, you can't do that. That's not right. It just... I feel like she just doesn't understand. She does not have the authority, the articulation, the ability to communicate properly. And by the way, with the video that's playing in the background, or foreground that's playing of me actually playing, I have no idea why it keeps having those random frames, just frame drops. When I was playing, it wasn't happening, and sitting here watching it back, it's happening. And my apologies. I don't know what's going on at the moment. It might just be something to do with editing here, and you won't see it in the video when it goes live. My first part's still going live, so I don't know. But yeah, so that's my rant on my massive frustrations with my calc professor whose name I can't even pronounce. And the first day of school, she goes, you can call me, and then she told us her first name. I'd mention it, but I'd rather not get in trouble for slandering a professor online. Well, no, because they've got like Rate My Professor where they do that all the time, and they shouldn't. It's freedom of speech and, you know, all that crap. But she, just avoid her. I can't even say what I want to say. It's just, yeah, so we're heading down, fight the Capra Demon. He can be a pain, mostly because of the dogs. I find the best strategy, and this only works some of the time, is to head up the staircase into, like, when you get into the room, dodge his first attack and dodge the dog, head up the staircase to the top of the stairs, and then sit there with your shield up, have the dogs attack you, make sure that the Capra Demon's jumped off, kill a dog, wait, kill another dog, okay, and then do a plunging attack and kill, or multiple plunging attacks, or even just fight the frickin' Capra Demon regularly. It's not that bad once you get rid of those pesky dogs, where he hit me through the stairs, and that's frustrating. Gotta make sure you're at full health, because a leaping attack from the frickin' Capra Demon can kill you right quick. I don't think I kill him this first time. Spoiler alert. But I could be completely wrong. On most bosses, like, if you're given a plunging attack, you should use it. I know with the Taurus Demon, I'll occasionally use the plunging attack, but only if I, like, feel like it. Which I know you're like, if he feels like it, what are you talking about? Yeah, there. I died. Capra Demon was low on health too, which is, but, like, I usually don't do a plunging attack on the Taurus Demon because he's easy. With the Capra Demon, if I've got both the dogs killed, I'm like, what am I doing? I should just kill him. Get over with. Why take the risk? You know, it's just such a frustrating boss fight. It's like Ornstein and Smo. You don't want to frickin' screw around while fighting them. You want to take your time, and you want to kill them. You don't want to get overeager. You don't want to be too passive. You want to make sure each movement you make counts, and that you're using your resources appropriately. But yeah, so using the Claymore at the moment, Grass Crest Shield to gain that little boost in stamina regen. Got the red Tearstone ring, excuse me, and the silent ring. Oh, what's it called? It's not the Ring of Fog. It's crap. I should know this. The Slumbering Dragon Crest ring. That's it. I'm like, I can picture it. It's got a dragon. Oh, at this point, my roommate was telling me, "Hey Nick, go kill that guy." I'm like, okay. I don't care about him. He's useless. I'm not planning on using miracles with this. Although, I probably should have, because, I mean, it's SIegmier of Katarina. He's got frickin' miracles. He uses the Emit Force one. So, I probably should invest some into that. But in Dark Souls, I never found the magics to be alluring to me. Oh yeah, you've got the dark magics where they were originally seen as overpowered and the god magics, but they're not really. Or from what I've seen and heard. As I've said, I've not actually gone through the extra content yet, but you know, I've beaten the game, just haven't beaten the extra content. So I can't say that with authority, because I haven't established authority on that, as my teacher should learn to do. Establish her authority in class. Make it so that it seems like she knows what she's talking about, but she doesn't. Or at least that's the sense that I get. I feel like she's just stupid. And you should never feel that way about a teacher. Never. Like, yeah, they can be mean or they can be bad, but you should at least think that they know what they're talking about. With her, I feel like I can't trust a word she says. I am not pleased with her at all. Alright, let's see what else can I talk about, because we've still got a lot of time left. I have a dog. His name is Beckham. He's a Whippet. They're kind of like greyhounds, except smaller. Not as small as Italian greyhounds, but they're like a medium-sized greyhound, if that makes sense. If you've ever seen a greyhound, they're giant. Then if you see an Italian greyhound, it's like a frickin' chihuahua. It's just tiny. And their legs are just so thin, you feel like, oh my gosh, just walking around, you're gonna break your legs. Like, and then you got whippets where they're just the best. Our whippet's actually quite weird. And here I amazingly fail. Managed to get myself killed by the frickin' hollow thief. Excuse me. And, yeah. So, what was I talking about with my dog? Well, he broke my mom's toe recently. Or sorry, he didn't break my mom's toe. His bed broke my mom's toe. She was playing with him, and then she hit the, I believe at this point I tossed my controller down. I'm like, I'm done. I give up. It's over. And I pick it back up, and I'm like, I should keep playing. Which, you know, you gotta love that. Where something happens and you're just like, nope, I'm done. And, alright, so my dog, breaking my mom's toe. She was playing with him and running around, and she frickin' ran into his bed and broke her toe. And that's the second thing she's broken, like, on herself while doing stuff with my dog. The first one was she was playing with him, right? And she tossed a bone. He went, grabbed it, and then she took it from him, and then she's like, I got it. And then he decides he wants to jump over her. Now, whippets are fast, but they're not fast enough to jump over a 5'11" tall woman. So he smacked right into my mom's face, broke her nose. She had to go to the hospital, you know, have surgery on and all this stuff. And then, while at the hospital, she was constantly getting asked by people, like, was it your husband? It's okay, you can tell us. We've got the special program. My mom's like, no, my frickin' dog jumped up in my face and broke my nose. And they just would not believe her. It was great. And she had to stay. She got this, like, I don't know if you've ever seen someone who broke their nose, but it's like this weird nose cast. And she had to sleep sitting. So, excuse me. My apologies. She couldn't sleep laying down in bed because of the broken nose, so she had to sleep sitting in an armchair. It was great. And now she's always said that she can't sleep quite as well as she slept in that armchair. But that was like a year or two ago. It was a good time. Good time. Yeah, so she blames him for the broken toe. I don't. Mostly because I don't. You know, like it was her fault. She shouldn't have kicked the bed. She should have, like, it's not the dog's fault that you were playing with him and you kicked his bed. That you weren't, like, you should have been looking out for it. And here, I'm just like, no fucking around with these guys. I'm just gonna completely waste them. You know, except this guy, I spin around back and get a backstab in. Probably should have just blocked the hit. Apologies, I am tired. It's only like 7 here. Oh, I see we're getting close to the end of the video, which means one of two things. Either A, I kill the Capper Demon with my horrible camera angle there, or B, I die and give up, and you'll see me kill him in the next episode. Or I might have a montage of dying to him, or, you know, stuff like that. But here, do a plunging attack. I'm like, alright, still got fire on my weapon. Let's try to get another one on. I'm being very cautious here. I'm not taking any risks. Like I said, I'm gonna be, whoops, fall off the edge. Just as my fire runs out, I'm like, okay, just try to get past him. Hit, block, you know. When I see the lull, I can hit him, but I really want to be safe. I want to, you know, not screw up like I did there. And I, you know, it's one of those boss fights where you can screw up, you can mess up once or twice, but if you do it too much, you're screwed. Like right here, it's like, I feel like one more hit can kill him. I'm like, no, Nick, just be calm, take it easy, dodge the attacks, and he's dead. And I'm just like, oh, thank God that's over. And, like, I only fought him, like, 2, maybe 3 times. But it can be a pain. So, I waved goodbye to the Capra demons. And then I'm like, alright, I should start going down. But I also realized, wow, I've been doing this for a while. So, I decide that's the end of the episode. So, bye guys. See you later.